Hi everybody, welcome back to Chasing Tails Dog Training. I'm Rebecca. Super excited about this Q&A section. This has actually become one of my favorite parts of the month. I was actually thinking let's make this a little bit more fun and make it a seasonal type theme. So each month I'm going to talk about next month's theme. That way it kind of can maybe help spark some questions, help guide questions. There's 85,000 questions about dogs out there. It's a little overwhelming, so I thought maybe this can kind of help rein in some of the questions. Of course, you are still welcome to ask me anything, and I'm more than happy to answer. But I don't know, we'll try it, see how it goes. So when I was thinking of the whole monthly theme, I was like, all right, it's the end of summer. What happens at the end of summer? Kids are out playing, they're getting that last bit of soak up summer, and adults are out with the dogs because it's summertime. So I really was thinking like one of the best things that I could do about this time would be something on kids and dogs and safe interactions. I don't want to put a whole lot in this video only because it's such a huge and important topic. There's so much to say that I really want to spend a little bit more time on that. So I'm actually hosting a webinar on Sunday, August 24th at 4 p.m. It's $10 for the link. The link is live. There will be a live Q&A questionnaire at the end. If you're not able to make that day and time, you can still purchase the webinar. There will be a replay that you can watch it at a later time if you need to. We're going to talk canine body language, common mistakes that happen between kids and dogs, boundaries for kids and dogs. How do we greet an unfamiliar dog? How do we let our dog know it's okay to greet an unfamiliar child? Or how do we know when it's best to not allow that greeting? Basically, the goal is to help set everybody up for success. I will have the link for the registration in the description. If you have any questions, though, absolutely feel free to shoot me a message, leave a comment, anything like that. So let's go ahead, let's dig into some of the questions that I've gotten. And one of them that I got was, how long does it take to train a dog? The honest answer is there is no time frame. You've got to look at different things like their age, their breed, what are their specific natural instincts, what is their learning style. More importantly, the more consistent you are about it, the better your dog will continue to grow. Training is really about creating a bridge of communication or a new language between you and your dog. And that's what it is, and it's building that bond. So celebrate any and all small wins, stay consistent, and you're going to see your dog blossom. Question number 2. How do I stop my dog from chewing on furniture? Well, we really need to go back to why do dogs chew in the first place. Sometimes it's, a puppy that's teething. It's a way to help relieve some pressure on their gums and help get some of those old baby teeth out of there so that the new ones can grow. It can also be just due to boredom. Bored, I don't know what to do, I guess go chew on something. Could be anxiety related or lack of mental and physical stimulation. So once we kind of get into that why, we can start looking at how do we fix this. Do we need to make sure that there's an appropriate amount of chew toys that are appropriate for them to chew on? Also, not only should we have those, but we should also rotate them. Best practice is to change things up, keep things exciting. I actually have a toy box that my dad and I built for my dog so you've got your box and then it has a hinge top. Put all the toys in on the top and then it's got a hole on the bottom where he can pull the toys out. So whatever he pulls out, when I put it back in, it automatically comes up at the top. He's got new toys. He's constantly rotating. I know you can find them similarly on like Etsy. I just group project with my dad. Yay. If you do notice your dog's chewing on something inappropriate, you can do kind of like an as a reminder, that's not what I like, and then calmly redirect them to something that they can chew on, something that is appropriate. If you're doing like an edible chew, like a pig ear or a bully stick, something like that, I would recommend supervising them, especially if you've never given them before. Some dogs will try and swallow a whole piece and it can get lodged in their throat or it can cause a blockage. So until you know your dog's chewing style, always supervise. Another great way is to add in some mental stimulation, whether that's puzzle toys that you can buy at the store, puzzle toys that you can make at home, going out for sniffy walks. Just things to kind of get their brain engaged and going will help decrease some of that anxiety and boredom. Question number 3. How do I prepare for training sessions? This one threw me for a little bit of a loop because there's 2 ways to look at this, right? Like, I'm not sure if the person asking was trying to say, hey, as coming to you as a trainer and coming for our training sessions, what do I need to get ready so that we're good to go for you? Or when I'm at home, how do I make sure that I'm setting my dog and I up for success? So we'll kind of come at it from both sides. So as a trainer, I typically have the tools that we need or we have discussed the week before, like, hey, here's the things that we're going to need, here's what we're going to do, so that you can be prepared. If it's your first time, honestly, bring some toys, good vibes, and we're golden. I can't say how many times I've gone to a training session and only had 1 or 2 types of treats and got there and the dog's like, no thank you, not for me. You know your dog best. Have treats that you know that your dog's going to like available, or specific toys that your trainer can help you reward with in case theirs just don't work. Most of the time, I'm good, but sometimes you get those picky ones. If you're going to be looking to do like an at-home training session, when you first start learning a new skill, you really want to start in a quiet place with minimal distractions. As you build on this skill, you can build in more distractions. But in the beginning, limit them as much as possible. Make sure that you have your treats, toys, whatever type of reward you're having, have those ready before so you're not having to eat up in the middle or you're not prepared to reward when your dog does something that you like. And the one that I feel like is a common misconception is most people are like, okay, between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. we're training the dog. No. Keep your sessions short. Honestly, 5 or 10 minutes at a time is perfect. Find a way to build it into your routine. Like, hey, we've really been working on sit, so maybe while I'm brushing my teeth, why don't you sit? Because as a person, I'm just going to be standing there going, why not have my dog do something? It's that opportunity that shows them that when I ask you to sit, it means anywhere. It's always a good idea too, like if you are going into an intentionally focused session, have an idea of what you're going to work on. Because if you just sit down and go, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, you can wing it, but when you set it with intention, it helps your energy. It helps you as the handler have that calm, focused energy. Your dog will mirror whatever energy you present. If you are going in where you're super stressed out, rush, don't really have time for a session, your dog is also going to get frustrated and feel stressed and rushed. So make sure that you pay attention to your energy too. Do you not really have the time to do it? You know what? Take a break, come back to it later, and that's okay. Always try to end on a win. Anytime you're training, we don't ever want to walk away from a training session mad, frustrated, upset. So if you feel like at any point you're working on a hard skill and they're just not getting it and you're starting to get frustrated, you're losing your patience on it, go ahead and switch up to something that they already know. Maybe you ask them for a touch and just go, touch, yay, good job, and then end your session. Give yourselves both a break and come back to it, and that's perfectly okay. All right, so question number 4. What questions should I be asking a trainer? And honestly, I love this question because if you're not working with the right trainer, you're not going to get everything out of it. If you're frustrated or you don't understand and you're afraid to ask your trainer questions, that doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do your dog any good. That's a waste of everybody's time and money. So you should always be asking them, what methods do they use? Are they fear-free? Do they use positive reinforcement only? Are they balanced? Do they use harsher methods like prong collars, e-collars? Kind of, you know, what do they use, and how do they handle things get stressful or there's tension? What happens if the dog becomes fearful, reactive, aggressive? What is their response to that? Because every trainer is different, and some trainers are just about the basics and don't really want to get into the behavior stuff. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with those trainers. There are some trainers that don't want to deal with the easy stuff. They want to get their hands on those cases that seem impossible. I personally, I'm more of a balance trainer. I like a little column A, a little column B. As far as the questions that I just asked, I am more of a balance trainer, but I come from a positive reinforcement standpoint. I have been fear-free certified in the past. I don't like to, my goal is never to stress a dog out. I want to come at it in a way that's understanding and builds a relationship versus coming anything fearful or punishment based. However, there can be consequences if you're going to act a fool. Another good question to ask is, how does the trainer support you in between sessions? For example, I typically set my sessions out a week apart, and at any point during that week, if you're struggling with something that we worked on, or something just isn't working, or something new comes up, I want you to reach out to me and say, hey, here's where I'm having an issue, or hey, when we meet up, I really want to talk about this weird behavior that just showed up. Not only does it help me that, you know, it might be just a simple little tweak that maybe I can help fix it over the phone, or ask you to send me a quick video and be like, oh, here's where the lack of communication is. And if it's something a little more detailed, this gives me opportunity to look at the situation and say, okay, where do we need to go? What other methods can I use? What other tools do we need to make this work? So if you have a trainer that wants no interaction between the week, that's perfectly fine. But for me, I'm all ears. Another question would be, what would they do if the dog is really struggling? Do they have backup methods? Are they willing to be flexible in their program? Are they willing to really come down to your needs? You want somebody who's going to be, you're going to be able to communicate with. You want somebody who's going to treat your dog the way that you would want to treat your dog. And you want to work with somebody that's going to be effective, right? Like, honestly, I don't think I've had a single client that I haven't enjoyed with it at the end of our sessions. It's not like, hey, let's go grab a beer sometime, or hey, let me know 6 months down the road how your dog's doing. I love to hear those wins. All the questions I have for this month. I really, really appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, and being a part of this dog-loving community. I really, really, really sincerely appreciate it. Don't forget, if you want to go deeper into safe interactions between kids and dogs, I do have the webinar coming up August 24th at 4 p.m. That is a Sunday. There will be a replay available if you're not able to make that day. $10 for the session. The registration link is going to be up in the description. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. As far as next month, since we're starting this theme thing, which I'm really excited about, I was thinking my September theme would be back to school for dogs. How do we handle changes in the routines? What enrichment can we do? Alone time transitions, things like that. So if you have any questions specific to that, fantastic. I would love to have them. Love to hear from you. Until then, keep on chasing those tails. I look forward to talking to you guys soon.